Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to answer the question for Microsoft Word for the Edexcel paper. In your OneNote folders you will find that I have dropped under FN10, June 2016 paper. I'll click on that. I'll scroll down. This is a paper we have seen before. And I'm going to go to stop on this screen here just to show you that we've already done the database section on this paper, and we may have done the PowerPoint section last year as well. We're going to move down to where it says using DTP word processing software. DTP stands for desktop publishing. We will not be using any desktop publishing software, but if you did need to use it, then we'll use Microsoft Publisher. We're going to be using Microsoft Word because we're doing word processing, and it tells you the files that you'll need: Cottage, Draft, and Peters. Always remember to read the scenario part, because on this part here there may be some important information. For example, something about the house style. You may be asked to write a letter, and therefore the address is here as well. It's important to note that you should know how to lay out a formal letter. If you do not, I will explain it to you in class. However, section 5 is where we are heading towards. It's a bit slow. Working in school. Here we go. Martin wants a new letterhead for the company. Whenever an organization sends out a letter, it always looks good and is professional if it's on a company letterhead. For example, when your parents get letters or emails sent to them, they're always sent on a letterhead which has the school's logo, school's address, and other contact details on there. So, back to the scenario. This is open a new word processing document using the software. So we're going to use Word. Enter task WP1, your name, candidate number, and center number in the footer of the document. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to skip this bit, but because by now you should know how to create a Word document for your evidence. Question says, create a letterhead for Terrier Holiday Rentals using the company contact details from the file Cottage. The logo you created in part B of task AG1. Again, for the purpose of this video, I haven't created a logo, but in the real exam you will have done, so we will just put an empty box where the logo is meant to go. So the first thing I need to do is examine the file Cottage. So I'm going to go to my folder. Which is here. Go to the class I'm working for, which is 11S2. And this is summer 2016. Make sure you don't open the zip folder and you open the folder that needs opening. So there it is. August 2007. Cottage. Here we go. And here's the document. Here are the company contact details at the bottom. But before we do that, I'm going to show you a letterhead so you understand how a letterhead can be laid out. Now, on a normal letter, let's just open a blank document. File. Oh. File and new. Okay, on a normal letter, you can have the letterhead which might appear at the top. So I'm just going to put a shape in here to show you. Shapes. Okay, so you may have a letterhead at the top, or alternatively, you may have it at the bottom. Okay, so you may have your contact details at the bottom over here, like so, depending on your organization. Sometimes you will also have a line like this, which separates the header from the rest of the document, like this. So you might even have a line that goes across the top like that. Now, if I was to show you the school letterhead, okay, here is 2021, because that's when I created it. Okay, and here is the school's letterhead. You can see that we've got the logo in the top left-hand corner here. We've got the header, which is Dukhan English School. Then we've got our motto, which goes there. And then, not our motto, sorry, our vision. Then we've got a line, as I showed you earlier. And then at the bottom over here, we've also got a line, but then we've got all the contact details at the bottom. There's no right or wrong way of doing a letterhead. It's how your company's corporate house style is laid out. And we decided to go, well, I decided to go design like this, and there you have it. So all the documents, all the official letters that are sent out to parents or clients or customers or suppliers for the Dukhan English School will be set like this. Then you would have the other details in the middle. So let's go back to the question. It says create a letterhead for Terrier Holiday Rentals using the company contact details from the cottage file. So I'm going to open an empty file like so. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to remove these boxes and that one as well. And for this particular company, the first thing I need is their company name. So let me get their company name. The company name is Terrier Holiday Rentals. There is Control C. Paste that there. That needs to be a bit bigger, so it's obvious that it's the company name. Okay, about there is fine. Okay, and then simply go into, on a separate line, add their details on this line. I'm going to remove this line here. I'm going to center their name as well. And then underneath it, just here, I'm going to add the other details. So go back to the file. I'm going to take all of this, all of that, Control C, back to here, Control V, and you'll be like, that doesn't look right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I can remove the address part. Okay, I don't need his name in the letterhead. I don't need the title there because I've already put it in, but I need this stuff here. So I'm going to separate that by a comma and get it onto a single line like so. Okay, and then again with telephone, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to take it back, phone here, website here, and then email will be at the bottom by itself. Okay, then I'm going to grab it all, make it centered like so, make that centered as well. Okay, and that could be enough for a letterhead like that. Okay, then my logo, I've not checked if it's telling me to put a logo in a certain particular place. I'm just showing you how that this can be done. So my logo will go here. Okay, like so. I'm just going to add some text there to show you. Text. Look. Control Z. logo. I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. That's where I would add the logo. Okay, and then if I really wanted to, I could insert a line like I did earlier. So shapes, draw a line across the page. Okay, make sure it's straight, okay, and not bent. Otherwise, you may lose marks. Okay, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger by right-clicking on it. Go to Format Shape. Doesn't need to be super thick, but about there is fine. Okay, and I'm going to move it up a little bit as well. There we go. If I wanted to, okay, I could make these a bit bold. Terrier H rentals, like so. Okay, and there we have it. There is my letterhead created. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer, okay, but that looks good to me. Now I'm going to show you the mark scheme example. I have not seen the mark scheme, so let's see if I was correct. Scrolling down. Okay, they have created a logo like this, and if you look at the mark scheme here, it says logo inserted in document, okay, top or bottom and suitable alignment, ignore truncation by page border. Okay, all 5 contact details are included: company name, address, telephone number, web address, and email. I've done that. Contact details suitably formatted and located without truncation. I've done that as well. That means they're not on 2 separate lines. Letterhead is fit for purpose, must have marks 1 to 3, and is appropriate size for document, no more than 5 centimeters of the document. So if you look at my letterhead, it doesn't look like the mark scheme, but it's no more than 5 centimeters. Okay, if I wanted to, I could bring that up a little bit, and then press, just bring that there, and bring the logo down so it's there like that as well. Okay, and that is less than 5 centimeters of the page. I'm happy with that. Okay, that's the first part of the question done. Now that's an easy 4 marks there. Next question. Question says, resave as WP1A. Again, I'm not going to do that for this exercise because I know you know how to save. Okay, but in the real exam, you will not be asked to print, so please remember that. This is quite an old paper. Question B. Mr. Peters, a customer, has requested a list of cottages he has rented in 2016. Martin has saved the text of a letter to Mr. Peters as a draft. Using task WP1A, complete the letter to Mr. Peters by inserting the text from the file draft, inserting selected information from the file Peters in appropriate locations, adding any of the features found on a standard business letter. So I'm going to open the draft file from here. Try that again. Okay, and the draft file has opened. And the question said that I have to insert the items that are here into the letter head that I've just created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this. Control A, Control C. Then I'm going to go to the page, the document, which is on the other place. So this is over here with the letterhead. There it is. Okay, and for now, I'm just going to paste the text here. However, when you send a letter out like this, it must have the recipient's address somewhere. It must have a date somewhere. So today's date, I'm going to start off with that. Okay, I'm going to make the text smaller because it doesn't need to be 36. Size 12 is fine. Okay, and the date is going to go on the left over here. You can put it on the right as well. It depends on where everything's located. I'm going to put it on the left. Okay, 08. Oh, 08. February. I'm not going to put 08. I'm just going to put 8th of February. 8th of February 2023. I press enter. A bit too close to the top, bring it down a bit, that's fine as well. Okay, bring that down and move across. Now, I need to add the recipient's address here. Okay, the recipient's address. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the question, because the question says, I've done the first bit, insert the text from the draft file. It says selected information from the file Peters in appropriate locations. So I'm going to go to my folder, I'm going to find that file Peters, it's there. Okay, and it's got some important information in here because I need to include this in my letter. So I need to include their name, their address, their telephone number, and their their postcode and their date of birth as well. So it's Mr. Jonathan Peters. So I'm going to go to my letter. So I'm going to put Jonathan Peters. Make sure you get his name correctly. So it's Mr. Jonathan. Oh, I spelled Jonathan wrong. I spelled it wrong. It's not like that. Jonathan Peters. Okay. Oh no, I still spelled it wrong. I'm just going to spell check it. Jonathan, there it is. Okay, Mr. Jonathan Peters. Enter. I need to add his address. His address is 62 Moston Road. 62 Moston Road. Make sure you enter the details exactly, capital letters, and all of this is important. Rotherstown. So Rotherstown goes there. Enter. And then it's AE38ER. I want to show you something that I just did. I copied and pasted this in. I typed the name and the street name. Watch up here. What's different? Can you see? The size is different. So make sure you change the size. Otherwise, or sometimes the font can be affected as well. Otherwise, items will look different on your letter. So I'm going to type the postcode in, which is AE38ER. AE38ER. Note the postcode in the UK has letters, and those letters must be capital letters. Okay. On a letterhead, I would not put, on a letter, I would not put the person's telephone number, and I would not put the person's date of birth as well. Because this area here that I'm showing, that I'm highlighting there, that might be in a window envelope. In the lesson, you can ask me what a window envelope is, and I will demonstrate it to you. Okay, so that's why we don't need anything else in there. But I'm going to press enter. I'm going to say, Dear Mr. Peters. Okay, just like that. Dear Mr. Peters, because that's who the letter is going to. Now, we have received your letter request for your rentals in 2016. First of all, you got to read this letter, because within that letter there's some information. So don't just copy and paste and think I'm done. You need to read the contents of the letter. Dear Mr. Peters, let me just make sure this is the same font style. This is 11. Okay, so I'm going to make it all 12. So it's the same font style all the way down, like so. Okay, first of all, thank you for choosing Terrier Holiday Rentals. As you may know, we are the largest holiday cottage rental agency in Angus and have been operating since 2000. We really appreciate that you have used our service so frequently during the last few months. In this table, we have listed the rentals that you've made with us for 2016. You will notice there's no table there, but there was a table in the Peters file. So if I go to the Peters file, here is the table. So I'm going to copy that table, Control C, take it to this file here, and where it says in this table, I press enter here, I'm going to paste it there like so. Just give it another enter so it makes a bit of space. There's too much space over here, so I'm going to backspace it like that. It says, according to our records, you have made 4 bookings. Okay. If you have any further queries, then please feel free to get in touch. We look forward to being service of the future. Okay, now we need to finish off the letter by pressing enter and enter again, and it's yours sincerely, like so. Just enter, and you must press a number of enters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, is about right. After which I need to enter Martin's details. Now Martin's details were at the top of this document over here. I'm not going to do that for this exercise because I've got it written down somewhere else. So I'm going to type it down right now. So where's my letterhead? Can't find it. Document 2, there it is. So his name is Martin. Give me a second. His name is, I've got another screen where I'm looking at his name. Stop it. Let's get to the exam question. His name is Martin Krimkist. Okay, so Martin Krimkist. Make sure you get the spelling correct. Okay, and at the bottom I'm going to put his title, owner, Terrier Holiday Rentals. Okay, just like that. Why did I leave this space over here and 7 spaces? Because that's where the signature of Martin will go. Okay, that is that question now complete. Then again, you save the document and you save it, and then you would print it. But remember, in the real exam, you will not be printing this paper. So let's move on. The next question says, explain the purpose of conventions used in standard business letters. Now, if we look at my letter that I've created for this organization, okay, I've got Dear Mr. Peters, that's a salutation. Then I sign off as well. That's another salutation. That, it's a complimentary close, yours sincerely, and then I put that. These are standard conventions in letters. Another thing I could have added over here was the subject. So I would actually write subject, okay, and I could have said subject, which was rentals in 2016, like that. A subject would be another item that you could add to your letter as well. Okay, we've got the date, which is another one. And in school, if I show you a school letter, you will always have a reference as well. So that when it's filed away, if somebody asks for a letter, okay, and it was dated or this was a reference, it can be easily referred to by the people researching that letter. Okay, and that, I believe, is the end of that question. Thank you for listening.